The Voice heats up over firemen singing Morgan Wallen cover. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. During the recent competition on The Voice, a firefighter gets the room moving with his Morgan Wallen cover. After his performance, things heat up between coaches vying for his vote. Fireman Ducote Talmadge gets the coaches spinning. In the March 11 episode of The Voice, 20-year-old firefighter Ducote Talmadge caught the attention of several coaches with his raspy rendition of Morgan Wallen's Sand in My Boots. While the young singer belts out the song, John Legend, Dan Smyers, and Shay Mooney spin their chairs around during the blind audition. Country music duo Dan and Shay, along with John, gave Ducote a standing ovation at the end of his performance. Then banter began between John and the combo team of Dan and Shay. The voice coach, John Legend, makes his case. Initially, the voice coach and R&B singer, John Legend, makes his case for joining his team, saying, "What I love the most about your voice is just that little scratch in it." Then he continues, "It's such a cool tone. It's breathy. It's just a lovely voice to listen to. And I know I can be a great coach for you, even if I didn't grow up listening to country music. I do know what a great song is, and I do know how to help you plan a great performance." Team Legend, "It's not the traditional choice, it's not the obvious choice, but it's an excellent choice." But Dan and Shay heckle back saying, "It's not the right choice." The voice team Dan and Shay go after Ducote. While things heated up in the battle for Ducote Talmadge, the voice coaches Dan and Shay spar for their team to be chosen. Badgering John Legend, the country duo picked at everything he said to dismantle the reasons for Ducote to choose John. Dan name drops that they personally know Morgan Wallen and Carrie Underwood. And John tries to win some ground by adding he once won a CMT award with Carrie in 2021 for Hallelujah. Then Dan and Shay keep at it by saying, "Honestly, we have no one like you on our team, and you would be an absolute standout, I promise you that," jokingly mentioning they don't have any firefighters at all on their team. Then adding some flattering, "Man, your voice sounds like it should be on country radio right now," Dan Smyers says, "It was incredible. Then you really opened up. You've got a lot of power to your voice, man." The voice battle ends with Ducote's choice. Both Reba McEntire and Chance the Rapper opted to pass on Ducote Talmadge, noting that he was a bit pitchy in his performance. However, Chance complimented him on being funny, then proceeded to tell him to lean into that during the remainder of the competition. But in the end, Ducote Talmadge selected Dan and Shay's team, which made both country musicians' day, exclaiming, "That's what I'm talking about. And that's our guy." Dan Smyers also elaborates, his performance was amazing, adding, "That was exactly what we were looking for. Somebody with that country twang." What did you think about Ducote Talmadge? Did you enjoy his Morgan Wallen cover performance on The Voice? Drop your comments below. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm golden glow over Los Angeles as the anticipation for the new season of The Voice reached its peak. Billboards adorned with the familiar faces of Blake Shelton, Kelly Clarkson, Niall Horan, and Gwen Stefani lit up the city, reminding everyone that the competition was about to begin. Inside the iconic studio, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement and nerves. Carson Daly, the ever-charismatic host, stepped onto the stage with his signature smile. "Welcome, America, to a brand new season of The Voice," he announced, his voice echoing through the room and into millions of homes across the country. The crowd erupted into applause, their energy palpable even through the television screens. In a small fire station in the heart of Tennessee, John Thompson sat surrounded by his fellow firefighters. The camaraderie among them was evident as they watched the announcement together, their spirits high and their faith unwavering. John, a 32-year-old firefighter with a passion for country music, had always been the station's go-to guy for entertainment during downtime. His guitar was as much a part of him as his fire gear, and his voice had soothed many a weary soul after grueling shifts. "John, you should audition for The Voice," his friend and colleague Mike had suggested months ago. At first, John had laughed it off, but the idea took root. Encouraged by his friends and family, he decided to give it a shot. The camera panned across the 4 iconic red chairs on the stage, each bearing the name of a coach. As the opening sequence played, highlighting past winners and memorable performances, John felt a mixture of excitement and anxiety. He had made it through the preliminary rounds, and now his audition was just around the corner. The day of John's audition arrived, and the city of Los Angeles seemed to hum with his nerves. In his hotel room, John went through his routine one last time. His guitar rested against the bed, and he strummed a few chords of Sand in My Boots, the Morgan Wallen song he had chosen for his audition. The song's lyrics resonated deeply with him, capturing the essence of longing and heartache that he felt so often in his line of work. John took a deep breath, remembering the faces of his family and friends who believed in him. His wife, Emily, had been his rock through it all, encouraging him to pursue his dream while balancing his demanding job. His 2 young daughters, Sarah and Lily, had made him promise to wave to the camera if he got a chance. Backstage, the producers and crew bustled around, ensuring everything was in place. John felt a reassuring hand on his shoulder and turned to see Carson Daly. "You ready?" Carson asked with a warm smile. "As ready as I'll ever be," John replied, his nerves settling slightly. The stage lights dimmed as Carson introduced John to the audience. "Up next, we have a firefighter from Tennessee who's ready to set this stage on fire with his voice. Please welcome John Thompson." John stepped onto the stage, his heart pounding in his chest. The iconic red chairs were turned away from him, adding to the tension. He took his place at the center of the stage, adjusted the microphone, and strummed the opening chords of Sand in My Boots. As John began to sing, his rich, soulful voice filled the auditorium. The lyrics spoke of a summer love lost and the memories left behind, and John poured his heart into every word. The audience was captivated, their attention fixed on the man with the guitar and the fireman's uniform. The last notes of the song lingered in the air, and for a moment there was silence. Then, one by one, the red chairs spun around. Blake Shelton was the first to turn, his eyes lighting up with approval. Kelly Clarkson followed, her smile wide and genuine. Niall Horan and Gwen Stefani turned almost simultaneously, their expressions mirroring the audience's awe. Blake was the first to speak. "Man, that was incredible. I could feel the passion and the emotion in every note. I'd be honored to have you on my team." Kelly chimed in. "You have such a powerful voice, John. You took that song and made it your own. I'd love to work with you and see where this journey takes you." Niall added, "There's something so authentic about you. Your voice tells a story, and I think you have a lot more stories to share." Gwen nodded in agreement. "You have a natural talent, John. I could see you going far in this competition." John's mind raced as he considered his options. Each coach offered something unique, but his heart had been set on one from the start. "I choose Blake," he said, his voice steady. Blake's smile widened as he welcomed John to his team. The other coaches offered their congratulations, and John felt a wave of relief and excitement wash over him. Backstage, Carson was there to greet him with a high five and a heartfelt congratulations. With the blind auditions behind him, John immersed himself in the next phase of the competition. The battle rounds were known for their intensity, as contestants faced off in duets, each vying for a spot in the next round. John found himself paired with Sarah, a talented singer with a background in gospel music. Blake guided them through their rehearsals, helping them find a balance between their unique styles. The song chosen for their battle was Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton, a challenging yet fitting choice. The rehearsals were grueling, but John and Sarah developed a mutual respect and friendship. The day of their battle arrived, and the atmosphere was electric. John and Sarah took the stage, their nerves palpable. As they began to sing, their voices blended beautifully, creating a powerful and emotive performance. The audience was on the edge of their seats, captivated by the raw talent and chemistry between the two. When the song ended, the judges offered their critiques. Blake faced a tough decision, praising both singers for their outstanding performance. Ultimately, he chose John to move forward, citing his unique tone and emotional delivery. Sarah, though disappointed, accepted Blake's decision with grace, knowing she had given it her all. The knockouts brought a new level of intensity to the competition. Contestants had to choose their own songs and deliver solo performances, showcasing their individuality and star potential. John knew this was his chance to truly shine. Blake worked closely with John, helping him select the perfect song and refine his performance. After much deliberation, John chose Whiskey Glasses by Morgan Wallen, another song that resonated with his life experiences and style. The rehearsals were intense, with Blake pushing John to dig deep and connect with the lyrics on a personal level. On the day of the knockouts, John felt a mix of nerves and excitement. The stage lights dimmed as he stepped forward, guitar in hand. As he began to sing, his voice filled the auditorium with raw emotion. The lyrics of Whiskey Glasses spoke of heartbreak and resilience, and John's performance struck a chord with both the judges and the audience. When he finished, the applause was thunderous. Blake was visibly impressed, and the other coaches nodded in approval. Kelly praised John's growth and emotional depth, while Niall and Gwen commended his authenticity and stage presence. Blake had the final say, and he didn't hesitate. "John, you've shown incredible growth and passion throughout this competition. I'm proud to say you're moving on to the live shows." John felt a surge of relief and joy as he thanked Blake and the other coaches. He knew the competition was about to get even tougher, but he was ready to give it his all. The live shows marked a turning point in the competition. The stakes were higher, the performances more demanding, and the audience more critical. John felt the pressure but was determined to rise to the occasion. Blake and John worked tirelessly in preparation for the first live show. They chose More Than My Hometown by Morgan Wallen, a song that reflected John's roots and resonated with his journey. Blake pushed John to deliver a performance that was both powerful and heartfelt. As the night of the first live show approached, John's nerves were at an all-time high. The backstage area buzzed with activity, and the other contestants offered words of encouragement. John took a moment to center himself, thinking of his family and friends who were watching from home. When it was his turn to perform, John stepped onto the stage with a sense of determination. The opening chords of More Than My Hometown filled the air, and John poured his heart into every note. His voice was strong and emotive, capturing the essence of the song and connecting with the audience on a deep level. The response was overwhelmingly positive. The judges praised John's performance, highlighting his growth and authenticity. Blake beamed with pride as he commended John's dedication and hard work. The live audience and viewers at home were equally impressed. Social media buzzed with praise for John, and his fan base grew steadily. John felt a renewed sense of confidence and determination as he prepared for the next round of live shows.